Is day 1252, and we're going to get to the bottom of who murdered Richard. And part of that is also figuring out what really happened on August 3rd, which is Dallas Hart's birthday, 2019, which is the Walmart mass shooting. And I tell you, we have been doing a lot of research behind the scenes. So that's why maybe I'm a little bit glossy eyed from all the reading that paints a picture that I don't think Texans, I don't think El Pasoans, especially El Pasoans, would be happy about. But I'm going to let you know what we have found out so far. What we can. What we can. Oh my gosh, yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yes, we have breaking news again. And of course, they're out in force here. Okay, well, deal with that later. Okay. Um, and if you're wondering, it's they only have the opposition, the criminals, the criminal syndicate, the pedophiles, the sex cultists, the um, child traffickers, the embezzlers, the criminal syndicate, weapon smugglers, you know, um, child pornography producers, these people that are just up to no good. They're individuals that have profited for so long off of this. And I will tell you, it's generational. This is generational. Absolutely. You see Tanya Katzen with Danae Katzen, Lalani Hart, James Hart with Texas Hart and Dallas Hart. Then you see Lydia Rocha, Eddie Rocha, Danae Rocha, and it's even more generational than that. Um, and um, it's stealing, absolutely coveting and stealing. They want to steal. They want to manufacture, lie, cheat, um, tamper with documents, anything. That is like their whole life with this sex cult stuff and everything. And it's just miserable. It's absolutely miserable. And why am I saying that? Because we have hard evidence, circumstantial evidence, and irregularities to prove it. And it's just the proof is overwhelming. And I wouldn't say it. I've been doing this for 3 years, over 3 years now, and I wouldn't say it unless I had hard evidence. And why am I saying it? Because I'm trying to warn everybody. We can keep this all to ourselves and go to court. Um, but I'm trying to warn everybody what is going on, that we've been had. We've been betrayed and we've been had, and um, it's it's very clear that it's been so profitable, that our elected officials have gotten involved in it. Our military leadership has gotten involved in it. And I'm not talking about 100%. I'm talking about enough, enough of them to really do a lot of damage. And of course, we have these agencies and organizations and families that have gotten involved in this. And this has become their profession, to lie and cheat and to tamper with and manufacture and even murder or steal people's identity. Um, and yeah, and they get under the thumb of some leadership that has to, give them protection. And so then that creates this criminal syndicate. And Richard pulled on a string in that, and that's why he was murdered. And that string that he pulled, if you pulled a little harder, it brought down the whole Walmart mass shooting training. Was it a training? Was it, did they call it a training? Did they prepare for it? I believe they did. I believe they prepared. I believe that they went at it like it was a training um, operation and mass shooting, active shooter, mass casualty training. And I believe that there were a lot of people there involved in this that at different levels and different roles that we would just be shocked if we knew reality. And that's what we're trying to bring to you is the reality of the Walmart mass shooting. And, Richard is not the only casualty aftermath of that. We have the 22, and then we had the 23rd that died being on um, in intensive care for a long time. And then, of course, we have Private Oakley. And Private Oakley, who was in the mall, he was in the mall, y'all, and videotaped the shooters in the mall. He videotaped, and they never released that. And in April, so that was in August of 2019. And in April of 2020, he was found dead in his barracks room. He was, found dead in his barracks room. And guess who? Guess who investigated his death? Marlon Soto, Dirty Agent Marlon Soto, and Dirty Agent Tavita Nusa, right? Tavita Nusa, who has been implicated in Richard's case, tampering with Richard's file, even admitting to bodily harm in Richard's case, and and much more that we're not at liberty to say until we can get into the court, into the trial. But Tavita Nusa definitely, and here he lost his badge. See, thank God he did. CID special agent, but he's the one that investigated with Marlon Soto, dirty agent. I mean, totally dirty agent Marlon Soto, and it seems like these CID agents are very dirty. Okay, um, and I'm just saying, or whoever is the HRC, which is also um, very interesting because we've finally found a name that is connected to HRC. And that means, who is putting the people into these positions, these key positions. That, so, when we confirm that information, we are absolutely going to expose it. But and we all know that you can have James Hart at the VA and Thomas Kane at the DES and Major General White and Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe and now Major General James um, Eisenhower in their positions, and also in charge of CID, Lieutenant General Donna Martin. And then you have those that are in the IG, which we know, and those that were in the JAG that we know. And of course, Dirty Agent Marlon Soto and Dirty Agent Tavita Nusa in the CID. And then you have uh, the Fort Bliss MPs being led by, you know, uh, the CID information, the false smear campaign that was intended to blacken Richard's credibility so bad, like they do so many other people. Look at what they've done to Trump. They've tried over and over and over to blacken his credibility, but his record holds so firm that they just can't do it. You know, too many people um, have seen the other side of the coin, so to speak, and so they know that what is being said is an over exaggeration or a lie, and absolutely is a political smear campaign. And so this is what DA Bill Hicks has been accused of, is a political campaign, and he's using cases and this is not my accusation. This is Loretta Lynn Hewitt's accusation that he is using the case for political reasons to get reelected. And that is really concerning. So let's go through a timeline that we have been spending a lot of time putting together. This is, at the beginning, Lieutenant General Sean Bernabe will contest to this, and anyone that's been following that we put timelines together, and we put info charts together and everything to for us to understand what was happening, so we can deduct information from that. And so I'm looking at this. I got a little heart sent to me, so that's really nice. um, that's what I was like, I wasn't expecting that on this, but of course it was my husband, so I'm like, okay, I'll take that extra. Um, all right, so we've been working on a timeline in Richard's case, and of course, if we're talking about Richard's case, we're talking about the Walmart case, right? Because the same people. And we were alerted of John Briggs and another character that we're um, concerned about and looking into. But John Briggs is very, very important in all of this because of his tenure, long tenure, y'all. Since 1997, he's been at the DA office in El Paso. So this prosecutor, so-called prosecutor, um, has been there a long time. And we want to know, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he up to no good? Because Loretta Lynn says he's up to no good. Reyes Mata says he's up to no good. And we his direct supervisor says he's up to no good, and Yvonne Rosales says he's up to no good, and who else says he's up to no good? I thought I had five people saying he's up to no good, and who was it? The mind of the active shooter. Okay. I will find that. But, and it'll come to me. It'll absolutely come out in all of this, um, because you will see when you put together a timeline, it really does help you see things differently and get some answers and get the environment. When uh, when Richard went missing, we wanted to know what kind of environment he was in, right? Um, was he in a friendly environment? Was he in an enemy camp? Was he in some kind of sex cult environment? Was he in a criminal syndicate environment? And it turns out he was in a pretty bad environment, with all of these drugs and alcohol and parties and the COVID and the compromised leadership, the compromised law enforcement agency heads. And, he was in a very, very bad environment. And so, you know, uh, that was a good indication uh, that something was, because something was stinky. We knew it was stinky, and that helped us um, confirm that things were not to be trusted. That Jay Pollan is not to be trusted. Man, Jay Pollan, he is eyeball deep in this. Okay, he is eyeball deep in this. And that David Park, who sent me the letter that you can still read on Facebook, is neck deep in this. And that James Hart at the VA, neck deep. Oh, he is like tip of his hair deep in this. And Leilani Hart and Dallas Hart, wowzer, wowzer. It's just, it has overcome him. It has over, he's drowning in it. He's absolutely drowning in this. And Leilani Hart is drowning in this. And so is Tavita Nusa. And there's so many others. So, you see the environment, and these people cannot be trusted. Thomas Kane cannot be trusted. He even said he couldn't be trusted, that they are working outside of the law. Um, that Richard was a good meal for the coyotes. That who would say something like that? Someone that can't be trusted. Um, that and that Richard's case is compared to like Vanessa Guillen's, and we have the recordings of him, and that is going to go a long way in our court case with many others. And Marlon Soto's so dirty. He's so dirty. And, you know, with so many lies that we caught him. And also the CID in Quantico. Um, you know, uh, the cover up is enormous. And why would the cover up be so big? Well, it's because Richard's case is connected to the Walmart case, and the Walmart case is connected to Bliss Avenue, and Bliss Avenue is connected to Fort Bliss. Okay? And not only that, but to the deceased. And we know that they're stealing identities. And are they not handling the deceased with integrity? Are they not filling out the paperwork like they should? Because they're just tampering with paperwork all over the place, with records all over the place. And lo and behold, DA Bill Hicks, not me, not Team Fine Richard Halliday, but El Paso Inc. Reyes Mata III is is laying it all out there, that DA Bill Hicks, who was supposed to come into the DA office and restore integrity, restore the integrity of the DA office, has started out by being crooked when it comes to even taking the oath of office. Um, this is not my accusations. This is the accusations of the open records that was read by Reyes Mata about Bill Hicks. Um, and so we've been putting this all together because it's and the tampering of timestamps, y'all, which is a felony crime. Um, and there's no justice when you're tampering with timestamps. Timestamps is really, um, how justice clicks, right? Is by these timestamps. When were you there? what time was this? What time was that? How did that happen? Everything is on timestamps. So, um, and what came out of Loretta Lynn Hewitt's accusations, what came out of our research, because of what's happening with the DA office, that he may be an illegal district attorney. We know he's not, doesn't have integrity. We know that. I know that 100% in Richard's case. I don't even need to look up things. Just the way we have been dealt with by DA Bill Hicks, he has no integrity at all. Richard is the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier. Okay? There should be communication, there should be transparency, there should, whether we like what he says or not, he should say it. He should know what's going on in this case. He has no integrity, he's not doing his job. And, so that is without having to have the confirmation or collaboration. Of Reyes Mata's very hard research work with open records that he received. He received the open records emails between the State Department and Bill Hicks. And Bill Hicks turned in his paperwork on the 26th, but the timestamp said the 11th. And so, why did they want to back stamp the 11th? Was it because it had to be in a certain amount of time to be accurate? If he can't even follow the Texas Constitution, and he can't, he doesn't know how to lead the Walmart case, and he does not know how to lead the office that looks into the Vanessa Guillen first absent soldier case, he's not fit to be a district attorney. That is absolutely just fact. Absolutely fact. And so what this all did is it put a spotlight. We absolutely know he is not fit to be, and this is hard for Team Find Richard Halliday, because for the most part we're a pretty mixed group, because but we have one goal, and that's justice, and that's doing the right thing. But a big portion of Team Find Richard Halliday are Republicans. Okay? And, Bill Hicks is a Republican. But you see, if I see George Bush doing the wrong thing, and absolutely he was doing the wrong thing, I didn't vote for him. We didn't vote for him. All right? And I've tried to say this from the very beginning. When you see someone not doing the right thing, you can't just be loyal. I would never have voted for Romney. I would have never, I voted for Perot, or, I voted who I thought would be lead us with integrity. Ron Paul. I was a Ron Paul, and we knew that they would not win, right? But do you vote just to win, or do you have to answer to God for who you check the box off for? And that's what I feel like. I feel like, voting is like laying on of hands. Am I going to lay my hands on, which is, the Christian way of saying I vote for you? I'll put my hand on your shoulder, and I'm supporting you, right? I'm confident in your ability to lead. And so, uh, and the reason why I'm talking kind of politics right now is because this is politics. And Loretta Lynn Hewitt said that Bill Hicks was dealing with the cases politically, right? And uh, what that did is it alerted us, um, so to take a stand against Bill Hicks is, we have to be Team Farm Richard Halliday ready to explain ourselves to each other. We have to explain why Bill Hicks is not the right man for the job, and that he really is like uh, what a lot of people call rhinos, right? Republican in name only. Um, so does not stand for the values that we want in a prosecutor. Okay, and a prosecutor is so important because they identify crime and criminals and document it and prosecute them. So this is a work with the law enforcement agencies, and so it's a super important job, and you don't want people to use those powers to weaponize against their political enemies, like they have been doing very clearly to Trump and so many others, so many others. And so, uh, looking into this, trying to be ready with an answer of why we are not supporting Bill Hicks, we have found John Briggs. John Briggs is everywhere, okay? He is everywhere. But he's like the person behind the scenes. He's the person behind the scenes. He's not like Joe Spencer, Felix Valenzuela, in front of the cameras. Um, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But John Briggs is there, and he's been there a long time. I mean, I think since 1997. 1997, he has served side by side with Jaime Esparza. When Jaime Esparza, I think almost for 3 decades, served as a district attorney for El Paso. And, and it was time for him to retire, right? It was time for him to retire, and then, oops, he couldn't retire because of politics. So let me go through this timeline, and the reason why I want to go through it about John Briggs. This is all about John Briggs. Okay, John Briggs' tenure in the El Paso District Attorney's office, and his hand is all over the Walmart case and all over Richard's case. Okay, all over. And so this is why this is so important to understand, because we want to move forward, and we have someone there at the district attorney's office that is sabotaging the cases from moving forward, right? From getting justice. So the very people that are supposed to be identifying the crime and the criminals and documenting them and prosecuting them are doing the opposite. They're sabotaging. They're sabotaging justice, which is obstruction of justice. They are betraying their oaths. They're betraying the Texas Constitution, that they have to sign that ethical statement, right? And they're betraying that. So I have it here that John Briggs was this assistant district attorney and the trial team chief under District Attorney Jaime Esparza. That is huge, right? So he had a lot of power. He, you know, 25 years of experience. Yeah, that's huge. On August 3rd, 2019, while Jaime Esparza was in office. Um, right beside him was John Briggs, ADA. We'll call him ADA John Briggs. And he absolutely had a major role, a significant role in the Walmart case. And in July 2020, under Jaime Esparza, Richard's case, Richard was murdered. And so this is all, these two are supposed to be identifying crime. Okay? Identifying crime and prosecuting crime. Okay? And look at the mess that we're in. So clearly, they're up to no good. Clearly, what um, Loretta Hewitt was saying, that they're political. If Bill Hicks is political, then these two are political also, right? And the timeline shows it. The timeline screams that they are political and that Bob Moore had a reason for inserting himself in both of the cases, okay? For using his El Paso matters to thwart, to violate his 501c3 and act politically to do the will of what was going on in the district attorney's office. I absolutely, the timeline shows is, can you call it hard evidence? It just, it just shows the intentional operation of, or the reaction to what was going on at the district attorney's office. And I would say under John Briggs, even though Jaime Esparza was the DA, even though Yvonne Rosales was the DA, even though Bill Hicks was the DA or is the DA, it's kind of like President Biden, right? He's president, but really he's not. There's someone behind the curtain. There are, those that are movers and the shakers, and it's not the DAs. Okay? And I believe it's the John Briggs. Okay? It's the John Briggs that are the movers and the shakers. And that's why they stay there for so long. Even though, you got to give Jaime Esparza, a lot of credit because he was there also for a long time. But the timeline for the Walmart case and for Richard's case really points to the John Briggs. Okay, so and if he's up to no good, because his direct supervisor says so, if he's and under oath said it, under oath he said it, and then if Yvonne Rosales is saying it, and then Loretta Hewitt is saying it, and the news media even covers it, that he's up to no good. Why is he there for so long? So let's go to the next date. On July 14th, 2020, Yvonne Rosales becomes the first woman elected DA in El Paso County. That's huge. And it's not just for the El Paso district attorney. There's other, I should have written that down because I don't know it by heart. But anyway, she becomes the first female and Hispanic female district attorney. So December 8th, reports emerge that she's going to let go a fourth of the employees. So 25% of the employees, she's going to save the taxpayers some money here, and she's going to let them go. Um, also, it could be because of the COVID, right? Because this is December 8th. You know, uh, what's going on during that time? Maybe not much, right? Because everybody was locked in. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying that 25% of the DA office, which is a big office, is going to lose their job. And on December 23rd, 2020, outgoing El Paso District Attorney Jaime Esparza seeks appointment, okay, as the top federal prosecutor in West Texas, which is really interesting. So she wins, and he's like, okay, I guess I can't stay in retirement. I guess I can't stay in retirement because he had said he had no intention from earlier that he was going to run for the federal position. Um, but nope, he was brought back in. And I think there's some other things going on in that area. But to know these people is to know what's going on in the Walmart case and what's going on in Richard's case. And so here comes John Briggs again. So John Briggs, he just stays there even with DA Yvonne Rosales, okay? And he's the trial team chief, okay? So he's overseeing the legal proceedings and managing teams, the team of prosecutors there. So this is a huge responsibility in that office. He's not just a nobody. He's not like Nadal, what they call Nadal Baim. Nadal Baim is not just nobody either. That's my point. They tried to tell us that he was a nobody, but he is somebody. And John Briggs is somebody too. And John Briggs is absolutely significant in the Walmart case. Very high profile case. So he's, I would say he's in charge of that case. Okay. Just because of this other information going on. So Yvonne Rosales is saying also during the Walmart case and during Richard's case, Jaime Esparza was a DA. And so this is very interesting, y'all, because on April 19th of 2021, Yvonne Rosales blames the former administration, that would be Jaime Esparza, for plea deals made in significant cases. We'd like to know. We'd like to have open records for that. Let's have open records for these significant cases that the previous administration made plea deals with. Okay. I think that is really, really, let's follow the plea deals. I think that's super important because were they in the Walmart case? Were they in Richard's case? Were they in both cases? And, we've gotten already some information about plea deals that were made. And, and they didn't even notify us, they didn't even notify us. Everything was expedient. Let's do that Richard Halliday case really fast. Let's let's do that fast and sweep it under the rug, right? But we have to do what we have to do, and so let's do it fast. So in December 2nd, 2021, Texas Ethics Commission draft an opinion suggesting that Yvonne Rosales misused public funds. Now, that is so interesting because we want the monies. Where are the monies? That is public information. We should have that public information, and the DA should be willing to say, look what Yvonne Rosales did, right? But no, they are very, very afraid of the finances, the accounting to get out because it's millions of dollars, y'all, millions, and it's just so misused. So, there's no integrity behind how they're using the money at all. Does And I shouldn't say at all, but where's the justice? We've just got botched cases, right? They're using the money and they're botching cases. And it's not just Richard's case and the Walmart case. It's another high profile death penalty case, and it's called the Ivan Gabaldon. I hope I'm saying that right. Ivan Gabaldon case. And that was a brutal murder. And that one got dismissed due to prosecutorial vindictiveness, quote unquote. Yeah, so that means the prosecutor didn't do their job. That's what that means. So and that's not me. That is all recorded. We're just putting together this. That was also on December 14th. Okay. So that the state judge dismisses a capital murder case due to the misuse of the death penalty, which is really, that was a mess. That was absolutely a mess. And I know things about that case, but I'm not at liberty to say. It was a brutal murder. So in July 27th of 2022, now we're into 2022, Yvonne Rosales and John Briggs review the filings at a status hearing on the August 3rd, 2019 mass shooting case. And August 17th, criminal charges against many individuals are dismissed due to inaction by the district attorney's office. Now, Yvonne Rosales says she was being blocked from those cases, that they were not sharing information with her. And, absolutely, she's in charge of that office. They should share all information with her. But she's accusing John Briggs and others for keeping her from the cases. And, I'd like to know the truth on that one. So John Briggs, he needs to have a say too, right? But I tend to believe Yvonne Rosales just because of the under oath John Briggs' supervisor's testimony that he was acting unethically. So there's just so many fingers that John Briggs is under scrutiny of. And so that makes Yvonne Rosales' testimony believable. On August 22nd, John Briggs is terminated. She fires him. Yvonne Rosales fires John Briggs after that dismissal. So that dismissal was August 17th. See, this is why the timelines are so important. You have August 17th, 2022, and August 22nd, 2022. She fires him. So just a few days later, he is out of a job, but not for long. He transitions to a different county district, the Ector County District Attorney's Office. And he's there from August of 2022 until February of 2023. So then he returns again. So, he's been there close to 30 years, and she fires him. And, it's like, oh, wow, who does she think she is? She's just in here a year and she's firing me. Does she think she's the boss? Was she supposed to be the boss? She's the boss, and maybe there's hard feelings. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here because he got fired. and August 24th. So he got fired August 22nd. 2 days later, um, I'm just wondering. This is an open records request. I want open records for Team Fine Richard Halliday because we want open records for Bob Moore and John Briggs during this time. You know, did John Briggs say, she just fired me, like let's get even with her? Because 2 days after he was fired, and this timeline is just so revealing. Um, because Bob Moore of El Paso Matters, who has interfered in our son's case and inserted himself into the Walmart case and inserted himself into the Richard Halliday case, led that petition for removal for Yvonne Rosales. He led that, and he got the public behind her removal. And that started on the 24th, 2 days after John Briggs was fired. I think that's very, very telling. The August 25th, John Briggs faces also a petition of removal from office related to his role on August 3rd, 2019 mass shooting. So that is information that, we have to, man. So he was in hot water. Okay, he was in hot water that same day. Yvonne Rosales, the lead prosecutor, faces a petition of removal. So another one, right? Another one. We have 2 dates on that one. Okay, one on the 24th and one on the 25th. September 7th. No, September 27th. So a month later, Yvonne Rosales and John Briggs are supposed to be reviewing the Walmart shooting. Why is that? Did she give him so much time before he left? Because we know that he left, right? He says it on his LinkedIn. Some of this information is from his LinkedIn. So that same day, there is a motion to recuse Judge Sam Medrano in the Walmart shooting case that was denied. Okay. That's also interesting. And should that have happened? Because there was a lot of people that felt like he should have recused himself. October 6, 2022, allegations of breaking the gag order in the Walmart case, and a response from Yvonne Rosales. So she's now, being smeared. She's now definitely under that evil spirit of retaliation. She's getting retaliated against. Okay, that's exactly what's happening here. You can see it so clear in this timeline, and I'm only telling you a few things, but there's all kinds of things going on behind the scenes here that clearly shows that she is being retaliated against for, getting rid of some jobs and firing John Briggs. October 14th, former Alpa. Now, is that, that's my opinion. That's my opinion of what the timeline is showing. October 14th, 2022, Jaime Esparza is nominated by President Biden to be the new U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Texas. So now he gets in October 14th. And November 21st, 2022, court date set to decide whether Yvonne Rosales should be temporarily suspended from office. Okay? And a week later, she announces her plan to resign. Okay, a week later. After that, they're just retaliating against her, and I absolutely understand how she feels because they retaliated against us, and they're still retaliating against us. So November 29th, a hearing on the violations of the gag order. And I think they even wanted to arrest her. I think that's what I heard, but that didn't happen. Thank God. December 1st, 2022, um, she appears in that hearing, and I think this is where they kind of wanted to arrest her. The Fifth Amendment. They were weaponizing our justice system. It's very clear that they were weaponizing our justice system. So, December 2nd, 2022, Yvonne Rosales resigns. Um, and Governor Greg Abbott accepts her resignation. December 14th, Bill Hicks. 12 days later, he's appointed. And now, there's felony crime allegations that he, uh, of bribery and corruption during the appointed process, which is, wow. Wow. That's not me. That is the news. That's the news. And a former employee with the district attorney's office leaking information about potential bribery during the appointment process. Um, so December 21st, 2022, El Paso Times reports Bill Hicks is sworn into office, and he hires then Loretta Hewitt in January, right away, pretty quickly. And January 11th, supposedly 2023, so that would be this year. Um, Supposedly, the Secretary of the State received the stamp statement of the officer, the timestamp of the officer, ethical statement like, I'm not bribed, I'm not on the take, I can be district attorney. Uh, Gets it on, says it's on the 11th, but the open records requests email, the open records email that Reyes Mata received says January 26th. So that is something that is being investigated right now because we have confirmation that Bill Hicks is being investigated right now. And if they were, had more integrity, we absolutely would have the answers for our son's case already, and the Walmart case would be long over and we would have justice. Okay, that's what all this means. January 13th of 2023, Loretta Hewitt is selected to lead the Walmart mass shooting case that happened on August 3rd, which is Dallas Hart's birthday. So is Lalani Hart involved in this with Dallas? Anyway. Loretta Hewitt is put in charge on January 13th of this year. On January 25th, he gets an email from the Secretary of the State saying, hey, we don't have your constitutional required ethical statement commitment from you yet. Where is it? Okay, that's on the 25th. And on the 26th, he sends it in stamped and has it stamped on the 11th. So something's really fishy there. In February of 2023, John Briggs returns to the El Paso District Attorney's office under District Attorney Bill Hicks. So, he was fired. Now he's brought back in. And he resumes his role and is, as Loretta Lynn Hewitt says, now keeping her from the Walmart case. So she's appointed on the 13th, and he's brought back in February. So February 10th, Bill Hicks disavows efforts by former Assistant DA, that's Yvonne Rosales, to prevent a widow of a mass shooting victim from crossing the border. So that needs to be investigated. November 27th, 2023, Hicks hires Luis Reina Diaz so as chief of staff. Now this is a huge complication, and I'll put that all up there because he has some big time prior record, and they're like, how can the prosecutor hire this big time record holding individual for chief of staff? For chief of staff, I mean, come on. So Loretta Hewitt complains about this Diaz chief of staff, along with John Briggs, for interfering in the Walmart case. Interfering in the Walmart case. Why would they interfere in the Walmart case? And December 8th, 2023, so that's just this month, Loretta Hewitt resigns from her position, saying that John Briggs is up to no good and that Diaz is up to no good, and that Bill Hicks only cares about the politics, his reelection. El Paso District Attorney Bill Hicks is accused of playing politics with the Walmart mass shooting. This is just a couple weeks ago, December 11th, 2023. And yeah, that on December, now he's starting to announce that he's ready with the Walmart case, right? He's ready. So that's what's going on right now. And then the last thing I have on here is that the El Paso County sues Texas in a bid to block the new migrant arrest law. Okay, that's telling there too, that they don't care about these children. We have 85,000 unaccounted for minors, and they want more people to come in here and be abused and used and raped and everything. You know, we can't even account for these young people, and they want more. I mean, these people might be sex trafficked, they might be organ trafficked, where they will be killed for their organs. They might be for their labor, you know, like slaves. They might be put in these jobs like slaves. You know, we don't know where these 85 young children are. We don't know. 85,000. That's not 10,000. I mean, 10,000 is a whole lot. That's not even 40,000, which is a whole lot. This is 85,000. This should tell you in Longford, Ireland, our city had the little town that we lived by was 7,000. We're talking about 85,000 unaccounted for minors. Yeah. And John Briggs, what do they care about? They care about letting the migrants come in to be used and abused. Yeah. To be sexually assaulted, to be groomed into these sex cults, to be used as props and pedophilia and child pornography. I mean, what are they doing? And I'm just throwing out these crimes that have been committed in this case, because what happens to 85,000 missing minors, right? So thank you so much, everybody. God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much, Charles. Thank you. Danielle, thank you so much. Good evening. So absolutely, we will get to the bottom of this. And it seems like the law enforcement agencies and community, like the DA's office and the AG's office and the CID office and the DES office and the El Paso Police Department and the MP's office, with all the other agencies that are supposed to be, uh, keeping us safe, right? Have let us down, have let us down. And it seems that they're involved in some criminal activity. A lot of them are. So, all emergency intake centers on bases should be closed indefinitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they want to bring people over, and we're not even able to handle them. And now we're going to have literally blood on our hands because we don't know where these young people are. We can't even keep records. We're not fit to have these people come into our country. So, yeah, thank you so much. So, God bless everybody. And I know that that was kind of long to go through a timeline, but I wanted to put that out there, get some feedback on it, because I'm still going over that article with Private Oakley, who died in April of 2020, just a couple months before Richard was murdered. And, so this is, and there's so many witnesses that there's multiple shooters in the Walmart case, and it was over into the mall area or in the parking lot area. People didn't know even to run out to the parking lot because they thought there was a shooter out in the parking lot. They didn't know where to run because they didn't know where it was safe. And this is Walmart that has weapons. They have weapons. So that means they have security guards. What happened? And was this part of like a training out of Fort Bliss? A maneuver, right? Out of Fort Bliss? I look at Patrick Crucius and the way he just went up to the law enforcement and said, "Oh yeah, I was there." That's like in a training spoof. So we have to look into that. So, okay, thank you so much. God bless you. Please share everything. Please ask for open records. Please report to the IRS about Bob Moore because absolutely he's up to no good in this. Very political. Very, very political to lead a petition to get rid of a DA. I mean, that is huge, huge. So please write the IRS. I think it's eoclass at irs.gov is the email. And, just pray that we're getting so close that we can get some results now. And especially since we have two notices in for legal action. So we have several more to put out. So thank you so much, everyone. God bless you, and we will be back tomorrow. And don't forget, this is still Christmas. This is Christmas tide. So Merry Christmas. Bye bye now.